They'll probably say, where exactly are you going with this? I see you really trying to take it there. Old school flow, chew you out, ain't fair. Jordan pants don't...
Yo, what up, YouTube? It's your boy Zai. You already know what time it is. But basically, before I even get into what I want to talk about, shout out to everybody that's been supporting the channel since day one. If you're new to the channel, like, subscribe. Let's run these subscribers up. I see a lot of people that have surpassed me, but yet their views are, not even half of mine. So, basically, like I said, if you like what you hear, man, subscribe, hit that bell button so you get actually all notifications of any future videos. But without further ado, let's just get into it. Now, this dude, Milk74, is one of those dudes that pretty much hit the scene. He had the first time I ever heard of this dude was when he did a video with Fresh Out or whatever with Big Herc. Big Herc put him on the map. But even though Big Herc has been known to blow channels up, this dude's whole way of talking and everything was just so boring that there was nothing really memorable about it. So a lot of people didn't tune in. You got a lot of people that went on Big Herc that got big. I was already popping before I got on Big Herc, but he did give me an extra little boost. And just in general, he's made a lot of people shit, you know what I mean? But for Milk74, like, he was one of those cats, like I said, that his interview was so boring that nobody really, he wasn't believable and people didn't really take him serious. So in the future, when he did get at me and asked me to do an interview for him, which he did a few times, and the fact that I ignored him, I didn't necessarily ignore him, I just didn't see no rush in interview him, seeing that I didn't see what I could really bring out of him. If Big Herc couldn't bring it out of him, I definitely couldn't bring it. The dude's whole interview was boring, you know what I mean? And I can't state that enough. Now, he asked me for an interview, and I never really responded to him. So after that, he tried to make a video where he was talking mess, and then I in turn let him know that we could get down. And then he never responded after that. He just let it go. And if nobody really, he fell to obscurity. And then later on popped up again, and then he started doing reactions. He's like to say that he made the whole thing, his style of doing videos. But for people that remember, I got 4 channels. One of them is a reaction channel that got like 4,000 and something. And most of the subscribers on there are not even from this channel. They're from other countries and things of that nature. But so that genre is nothing new. A lot of people did it before me. But as for somebody that, did the whole prison thing, came out and did reactions, I would say that I'm one of the first. And then a lot of people start following suit after that. There's a lot of channels, and it's not to toot my horn, that followed the same exact script I did. And some will admit it, and some will be like, oh, nah. But then when you check when they got on YouTube and when I got on YouTube and when I started doing certain things, you know what I mean? My shit matches up, theirs don't. So besides that, the whole reason I chose to talk about Milk74 is the simple fact that, he tried to get disrespectful, and then when he got called out, he wasn't trying to push no issue. In fact, when he did a reaction on my first video, which was cracking teas, he tried to tell me how to be black, and that I didn't use an accent, which is funny because he's a white dude that talks black but has the nerve to criticize my accent. I chose not to entertain him on that because at the end of the day, there's nothing physically or that he could do. Like, dude is, with me, he was just outmatched all the way around. I seen a little fight video he did. That shit was garbage. I'm like, this dude can't fight. I don't even know how they corded his ass in. But he also knows that his relative deals with my sister. So if he really wanted to get that, we could line that up. I don't care about no bag. I just beat him up just for the hell of it. But like I said, I chose not to speak on him before because it just was irrelevant. Now, I'm speaking on him now because his dumbass is busted because he decided, allegedly, to put hands on his female, which in the past, a lot of people disrespected her. I'm not going to go into stipulations on why he put his hands on her, allegedly. I'm just going to say that you got to be stupid. You know what I mean? You got on No Jumper, blew your channel up, and then right after they blew your channel up, you had no more content, so you decided to go at No Jumper. And I think dude is an opportunist, which is cool. But it's just like you have 56,000 subscribers and you were on your way up, but you decided to make a dumb mistake, which is beating on your chick, allegedly. And now your ass is probably going to the county jail where all that shit that you talked about, neighborhood and this and fake bloods and all this, now you had to run them heads. I wouldn't be surprised if the Southerners don't beat your face in just for the simple fact that certain things you speak on that you weren't supposed to. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really get into Keyway and Damu's business because it's Keyways and Damu's. I got family members that are Keyways and Damu's. That's on them to whether they deal with their homies a certain way. Like, their politics have nothing to do with me. They choose to conduct themselves as they conduct themselves. This fool Milk 7-4, I just never really took him serious because for one, he was a crybaby and basically a backstabber. And the reason I say backstabber is because you asked me for an interview, and then when I didn't give it to you, you got mad and started talking and try to slander me, which made no sense. And I'll just say this. When it comes to us, there's a vast difference. Regardless of whether we run with two different races, my shit is tried and tested. I've been in situations to where I had to perform. You've never been in that situation to where you had to really get out there and get it how you had to. On the street, it's different. You can have a gun. And the law is if you get off first, you may be the victor. I ain't gonna even keep you guys too long. You know what I mean? All I'm gonna say is now this fool was that all that shit you were talking. Now you have to hit that county and run them same fades that you probably weren't gonna take on the street. I know for a fact, like you, I'm a pretty good judge of character, and I could tell that this dude just wasn't about what he said he was about. Like I said, every dude that I've run into from Hoover have always been about it, from scrap to rat. And I can go on and on. From Step Pops from 107. Well, my Step Pops from 107. Ex-Step Pops. Who's doing life now. Like, these are cats I ran into that was really, really out there. And like I said, I've never run into a fool from Hoover that wasn't about his business. And that's probably going to anger some people. You know what I mean? But it's just, I'm just keeping it real. And I'm just keeping it real. But then again, that has nothing to do with me. So I'm not on here to criticize the fact of him being from Hoover, or, if he beef with neighbors or if he don't get along with bloods. My whole thing is just point out the fact that he's a big mouth, and now with all that shit he talk, he's gonna have to run them fades unless he PC up or he end up in a spot where it's nothing but Hoovers. But even then, it's one thing to be from a hood, and it's another thing to put shit in for the hood. And if you ain't put nothing in, you're going to have a lot of cats that want to test you. I've seen it. And them dudes is wild. You know what I mean? So it's like, them dudes is wild. So, yeah. Good luck to you, Milk 7-4. Hopefully, you stand on all 10 and you hold it down. Hopefully, you take them fades and come out with your chin, in place. And then you can get on here and say that you were really with the business. Like, I took my fades, it's a difference. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's a difference. And I'm gonna go ahead and end the video there. That's all I wanted to say. Milk 7-4, run them fades, bruh. Don't be no bitch. Run them fades. And then come out and tell us how you got your shit busted. That's it. That's all I want to hear about. Other than that, man, with that being said, may you enjoy the rest of your day. And I'll come with another video tomorrow.
Kneel before Zod!